All right, Michael Rubin. Michael Rubin was on the Breakfast Club. I think this is the only reason Dove has been sitting in here this whole time. Dove is Dove's top 5 Jewish people I know.
Yo, he is. He is top five.
Top 5. There you go, Dove.
What is he putting on?
He's got a yarmulke that matches his shirt.
Did you call it a fucking...
What is it? You see how easy you can mispronounce something? But when you correct me, I'm gonna correct it, and I'm not gonna say I can call that whatever I want.
But you just made up a word.
Put it on.
Oh, yarmulke.
What did you call it?
Yamanika Sanders. You put the Yamanika on. Dove put the Yamanika on.
Great.
It's a yarmulke, right?
You called it a Hanukkah, right?
Yarmulke.
Yeah.
A Hanukkah. But he's got
fresh.
a yarmulke on.
It's
Matches
fresh.
his shirt?
Yeah, he's always
matches.
wearing that shit because he hasn't gone to Turkey to get his bald spot filled in.
Why you don't go get it done? You can go to Miami, though. Miami and Boston got some good spots.
Yeah, but it's expensive over there.
It is. It's just more expensive.
Yeah. And he's G.
Sorry. My bad.
Let's hear what Michael Rubin. Let's hear what Michael Rubin said on Breakfast Club. Michael Rubin says that he does not like black hate on hate, following rumors made about Meek Mill's sexuality. What you think, Schulz?
I think that Michael's confusing the black hate on hates with black culture, when in reality it's people that are disenfranchised or poor tend to have that behavior towards one another. Like you see this a lot of times in like classist systems. Like my mom's family's from Scotland, right? You know, if you're trying to do something big or you're trying to be bigger than who you are in your community, there's this attitude of who the fuck do you think you are? You think you're better than us? And sometimes they'll try to pull you down as well. And I think when there's a lack of opportunity, when someone excels, sometimes there's resentment. And, you know, Michael has grown up in a Jewish community. He's probably grown up around tons of people that are also very successful. There's a culture of success. There's a culture of opportunity. So he might not feel those same restrictions of a lack thereof of opportunity. So he goes, oh, this must be a cultural institution that has to do with blackness. I don't think it is idiosyncratic to black people. I think it is really specific to people who don't have. And if you want to get into the history of why black people don't have, it's because they're lazy and don't work hard. But we don't. Wait, what?
Almost
Wait,
like
what I do?
almost landed that
watch
plane.
this.
What I do? What I do?
I heard you. Watch this. I heard you say that earlier. Expound on that. I heard you say that earlier.
No. In all seriousness, there is obviously a history, you know, in the United States of America of homosexuality in the community. And what was it? What were you saying? You were like, black people are gay more often. You were saying in the beginning of the pod. You were I
want to hear from Dove.
In the beginning of the pod, you were being really gay about stuff. And what was that? That's a black thing or what? Explain that to me.
Dove, you put your Yamanika on, right? Your yarmulke.
Yep.
What did you think of your brother Michael Rubin's statements as a Jewish man?
Seemed earnest. He wants to help.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Until he proves otherwise, I think he's done well for himself. I think he enjoys the culture he exists in, which is obviously sports, it's entertainment. Why not? Why not uplift the people around you? And I think that he's...
No, I do.
That's a good point that Dove just said, too, about the industry Michael's in, right? Mm-hmm. He's in sports and entertainment. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't he be around black people?
He is.
He started, you know, he got his money. He started like in his basement, like a ski shop, a ski tuning business, got into e-commerce and then grew Fanatics, bought a piece. I mean, the Sixers.
No, I'm not. I think he is genuine in his wanting to help the people he works with, be them black, be them Jewish, be them Christian, it doesn't matter. I genuinely believe that about him. I think he's being earnest when he says that. I just think that where he fucked up is he attributed hate to black on black hate to blackness and not poverty. And you see this across poverty. Mm-hmm. And to not separate those two is just ignorance. I think that's
what
why
if
there's pushback.
No, I agree with
and
you.
I think he'd probably look back at it now and be like, ugh, I did fuck that up and I blamed it on blackness.
But no.
Not blamed it on situations that curated this.
I agree with you 100%.
Can I just say one thing really
go
quickly?
ahead.
Because there are black communities in the United States of America, right? You have like immigrant black communities that have been incredibly supportive of one another. And because of that insular support, they've been able to build these businesses and have tons of success in the same way that he has within his community. I don't think he would say the same thing about that. I think that there's just a history of oppression in America that makes it very difficult to have that culture of there's opportunity, and if we help each other, we build. I think that's I think it's been happening for black people for the last few decades, where you really see black excellence rising.
Absolutely.
And you see black people helping each other. There's a guy on this podcast that tends to do it quite a bit, if you ask me. But again, this is something that takes black people in America are building what their black culture is.
It's new.
This is a thing. You're deciding what your culture is now. If he just separated it from blackness and he was just like, I've seen people that don't have as many opportunities, and because of that, everybody's striving for what they believe to be the tiniest piece of the pie, and everybody's fighting for it, and because of that, there's hate. Instead, he's like, yeah, black people just hate on each other. It's like,
I think he was really eager because he's
earnest. He wants to help.
But he's also kind of like flexing that like he's very close with all
He's
of these
defending
top
his
names
friends.
that he's bringing these names up, and people are like,
specifically
ooh.
But he's specifically defending his
Who
friend.
he cares about, and then,
Yes.
and he's seeing his friends get unnecessary hate, and he's like, this fucking sucks, and it hurts me, and I wish it didn't happen. And he might not see that happen in his community. And what I'm saying,
And he's defending his friend against the gay rumors.
I like what he's doing. I just think he worded it. Does my explanation? Obviously I'm joking around, but does my explanation make sense?
I get what you're saying, and wholeheartedly, and I agree with it historically. But the only thing I would say to that is, what if that's not what he's seeing? What if he's seeing people that are in positions like me, people that are in positions like Lil Baby, and he's watching other people who are also in good positions, also tearing him down?
Can I give you an example of something? So, because it's in every culture, okay? There are assholes in every culture, okay? There are assholes that are just rich all the time.
Absolutely.
That they do not care about uplifting their friends.
Absolutely.
I was telling the guys, so out in the Hamptons, there's this guy who owns this. He has the ownership of this protected reserve, right? And there are all these homes that are on the reserve, meaning it's just big farm field, right? And he owns the farm field. But one of the things out in the Hamptons is if your property's on a farm field, you get this beautiful view of this farm, and it's stunning and it's amazing. And what this guy did is he planted huge trees on the end of everybody's property on his side to block their view of the farm field, simply so they don't have a view.
So?
Wait.
Because I don't know if it's about the view as much as I don't want you seeing what I'm doing over here.
You're miles away from him.
You might got binoculars. A telescope.
But listen, how can, and this guy's Jewish, right? How can he drink baby blood if you're looking at him with your binoculars?
So let me
right?
put these trees up.
Exactly. No. In all seriousness,
Expound on the baby blood thing.
No, I'm not gonna
Expound on the Jewish people who drink baby blood.
I don't want to tell you their secret. Okay? Dub,
What?
don't do it. These are trade secrets. Do not do it. No. In all seriousness, that type of behavior is not, let me lift up the whole community. Let me make all of these properties raise in value. Let me make everything this beautiful thing that I can share with everybody else. There's also some other things that are kind of fucked up because everybody that buys a house there pays a tax to manage the reserve rather. So technically he's blocking their view of a thing that their tax is paying for.
I don't give a fuck.
I know you don't
I
because
own
you're
this
fucking
shit. I don't give a fuck about your view.
So
I
funny.
own this
We all-
shit. What is the problem here? Why are you mad about what he's
bothered.
doing?
Yo, Michael
His
Rubin,
land.
Michael Rubin, you're right. You're right, bro. You're right, Michael Rubin.
I already said he was right. I'm on record. I didn't say I don't like broad generalizations, but I know what he's discussing enough to be like,
Not
man,
everybody.
I don't disagree with him.
Not everybody has. And again, we're taking this at face value. We're taking this from, you told me that he's very generous and looks out for his friends, right? Or the people that he's in business with. Not everybody is like that is the point I'm trying to make. And
Yes.
you and I both know people who are successful and they do not care about helping their friends. They can only care about themselves and their happiness. And I think that he assumes that more people are like him than are.
Here's the thing. I'm just going to address some of the things I heard people say. People say that they don't like They don't necessarily. I haven't heard anybody say they disagree with what he said. I've heard people say they don't like that he's the one who said it.
Yes.
And the people who do disagree are saying, well, there's a reason that we might be this way with each other.
That's
right?
what I'm trying to say.
Generational trauma, post-traumatic slave disorder. I understand all of that. But what I also understand is the healing of it is our responsibility. I understand why we got here.
Yes.
But I also understand the healing of it is our responsibility. So what do you think about people saying he shouldn't say it? Because I think, subscribe to Malcolm X when Malcolm X says, I'm for truth no matter who tells it. And I'm the type person, I like to chime in on what's going on with other communities and other people.
Oh, yeah.
So who am I to tell him he can't
I think
when I do?
I think what you say is this. You say, the reason I'm successful is because I'm constantly looking to help the people around me and give back. And I learned that from other people. And I've tried to do that with my friends. And sometimes I see people take down my friends. You don't even have to mention race. And it's like, I think what they don't realize is by lifting people up, you are also going to get lifted up. And then everybody can continue to make more. And that's why I've been so successful. You say that, you're still speaking truth. You're still saying this is how it works.
Just don't make it a black thing.
You don't make black people feel like it's their fault. Yeah. There's a thinner way to slice it, is what I would have said.
You don't make black people feel like it's their fault.
But also black people are loud. Say that about them.
Yeah, it's not.
They'll talk a lot.
It's not black people's fault. It's not. But the healing is our responsibility. Just like with white people, right?
Whoa.
No, just like with white people.
Talk about us.
No, you got to. Just like with white people, right?
What can we do?
White people will always say, I wasn't around for slavery.
I wasn't.
That wasn't me. You're right? And you're right.
That
wasn't me. I didn't have anything to do with that. But the healing of what slavery caused is your responsibility.
Yes, it is.
It just simply is.
It's the same thing as like
you have to use your privilege to combat prejudice.
It's the same thing as the trauma you get from your family, for example. Like you were raised in a fucked up situation. That is horrible. It's fucked up. Those people that put you in that situation should be held accountable.
That's right.
But at the same time, you stopping that.
That's right.
Like I always bring this up. This is a completely different scenario, but like my dad had a shitty dad. He just sucked. He wasn't a good dad. And my dad, I think, like made a point to be a great dad. And I think he did it because he loved us, but he also did it because of how hurt he was with his father. And he did this awesome job. And now I'm in this position. I'm like, I want to be a great dad like my dad. So he like broke the chain, and that was his responsibility to do it, which I think is what you're saying.
Absolutely. And it's like, yo, listen, when Mike said that, I was uncomfortable because it was coming from him.
Yes.
But
and then I was embarrassed, right? But then I immediately just said to myself, like, if I'm uncomfortable and I'm embarrassed, and I know that I have these conversations, right? It's not like I don't have the conversations he's having. It's not like I don't have that conversation amongst my other black people, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, what are we gonna do about it?
My thing is,
that's my whole thing. Like, what am I gonna do about it?
What were you embarrassed about?
It's like the emperor has no clothes type of thing. Like he's like, damn, you see this too? Like you see us? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, damn. So shit, you noticed this? And that's why I said to him, if these are the conversations that you and people like you are having amongst each other, I want y'all to have it openly. Because it's just like going back to white supremacy. If we don't have these conversations openly, or if women don't have these conversations about things that have happened to him in the workplace, or things that they don't like to see amongst the patriarchy, we can't fix any of these things. And sometimes it's good when other people see things that you may not necessarily see, or things that you might have normalized, or things you might have just accepted. When you hear from somebody else, it's like, oh shit, I am fat. You know what I mean?
So you're saying sometimes it's nice to hear from the outside, even though it does hurt.
Yeah. I think that's how you fix things.